So you've probably used AI by now, and you're wondering, what is Claude AI? But calling it a chatbot really sells it short. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you what it is in simple terms. And if you don't know me, I'm Anthony Tran. I completed Anthropic's Claude course, and I'm going to break down each topic easily for you to understand. All right, let's go. So Claude is an AI assistant, and it's made by a company called Anthropic. And you basically talk to it in plain English, same way you would talk to a coworker. It helps you write, it helps you plan, do research, be able to think through your work. You can also use it on the web, on your computer, and even on your mobile phone. Now, if you already use ChatGPT or something like that, you're probably wondering, well, why would I even bother with another one? Well, that's a fair question. Claude's a close cousin. It's got its own personality and a few things especially good at. But here's the thing about the word chatbot. When I say chatbot, you probably picture a little box and you type a question and you get an answer back. And that's the small, simple version of what's going on there. The bigger version is that Claude is your thinking partner. You hand it a messy problem, you ask it questions, you push it back, and it adjusts to you. A search box gives you answers. A thinking partner helps you do the work. And that's the part that matters, because you think about what really eats up your time during the week. It's not that you're having problems getting answers. That's actually really easy now. The part that's difficult is getting the work done. You might have some half-written emails, some things you've been putting off, maybe a pile of notes that you've been meaning to turn into something. That's the kind of messy stuff that this is built for. Okay, so a few things that really stand out here, especially if you run a business and you don't know how to code. First, there's no special computer language to learn. There's no prompting course you got to take. You just type and say what you want like you're talking to a friend. Second, you can steer it. Tell it to be shorter, warmer, more direct. Tell it to sound like you instead of a robot. That's a big deal. Third, it's built to be honest. Anthropic trains Claude on a set of guiding principles they call constitutional AI, which basically just means it's taught to be helpful, honest, and to avoid harm. So when it's not sure about something, it'll usually tell you instead of making something up. And the last one, it can handle a lot at once. You can hand it a really long document, sometimes hundreds of pages, and just ask questions about it, and stuff you don't have time to read line by line. And none of that requires you to be technical. So, trust me, I'm not a coder. I use this thing every single day. All right, so let me just show you with something small and real. I opened a brand new Claude account, fully fresh, and I asked it for a short post for my audience. This is the kind of thing I have to write every week anyway. So here's how most people start, with only like 6 words or something. They go, write me a social media post about AI. And here's what came back. And look, it's not wrong, but it's completely generic and it screams AI. It has hashtags, robot emojis, the quote unquote, the future of work. It could have been written by anybody and about anything. It doesn't sound like me and it doesn't talk to my audience. So honestly, this is the moment a lot of folks go, yeah, AI is not for me. But the problem was never the AI. It's that we didn't tell it anything. So on the same account, I actually prompted it a little bit different. I told it who I am. I'm a marketer talking to other business owners who are short on time. I told it who I'm writing for and what I want. Short, calm, no hype, no hashtags, no emojis. Sound like a real person, not a brand. So look at that. Same idea, but more detail. And it gives you a completely different result. And this one actually sounds like something I would say because I gave it the context that only I would have. And here's the most useful habit in all of this. That first answer, that's not the final answer. It's still a draft. You don't take the first one and run with it. You got to talk to Claude, give it some feedback, and then see what it can do. So watch this. All I said was, make the opening sharper. And look, one line changed. Everything else stayed put. You could tell it to cut a line, say it more like you, make it shorter, whatever you want. And you just go back and forth until it's right for you. Same way you would talk to a real assistant. That back and forth, that's the real skill, and anybody can do it. Now, if you want to skip the guesswork, I've got a prompt that you can just paste and reuse, and I'll put it in the description below, so you don't have to pause this video. Okay, so where do you actually start? You go to Claude AI or grab the desktop app or the phone app. You sign in and your conversations follow you across all of them. And there's a free plan, so you can try this today without paying anything. One thing you'll notice in the sidebar though, there's something in there called code. That's for developers. You can ignore it if you're not a developer. Now, real quick, a couple cautions, because this is useful, but it's not magic. So no AI gets everything right. Don't assume that the first answer it provides you is correct. Make sure you read it and fact check it, and to make sure that it sounds perfectly the way you want it to. Be careful with sensitive client or customer information, and know your privacy settings before you paste anything in. And don't treat what it says about legal, medical, financial, or tax stuff as professional advice. So to wrap it up, Claude's a thinking partner. You give it the context only you have, and then you shape the draft until it sounds like you. It's not here to replace you. Your taste, your story, your judgment, that's all on you. So here's what I want you to do tonight. Pick one task you already do every week, something you keep putting off, or something that just drains you, and bring just that one thing to Claude, just one. That first small win, that's the thing that makes everything else click. I'm working through the whole Anthropic course and putting out a video on every lesson, so be on the lookout for the next one. All right, I hope this helped, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.